Welcome to the Heal, Grow, Create podcast. I am your host, Syera Love, and on this podcast, we talk about healing from your past relationships, stepping into your authentic self, and creating the life and love that you truly deserve. So, if that sounds like your vibe, you're in the right place for us to just chill and grow together. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about how to stop blaming yourself after a breakup. Because usually when we go through a breakup, we find ourselves in this mental rut, contemplating on all the things that we did wrong and blaming ourselves for the relationship ending. We ask ourselves things like, maybe I should have done this differently. Maybe if I wasn't too needy. Maybe if I wasn't too sensitive. Maybe if I just did this thing a little bit more or this thing a little bit less, me and my ex would have been together. So if that sounds like you, today we're going to be exploring two key reasons why you may be blaming yourself and then talking through three practical things that you can start to do today to help you to move forward, heal, and to stop blaming yourself because you do not need to carry the weight of the ending of this relationship on your back. Let it go and move forward. So, let's dive into the first two reasons why you may be blaming yourself for the end of this relationship. The first reason is that you did not want this relationship to end. So this relationship ending probably was not your choice. It was probably your ex choice. And somewhere down the line, you're just like, I wish we could find ourselves back together. I wish we could restore the relationship. And you're trying to really understand where you went wrong, what you could have done differently so that you both could be together. Sometimes we have to take a step back and just honor that decision of our ex and to understand that if you and this person was truly meant to be together forever and ever, y'all would be. So it's okay for you to not want the relationship to end, but it's also okay for you to accept that it ended so that you're able to fully move forward. The second reason is that you may be blaming yourself is that your reality is shooken and that you have lost a form of control over your life. So when you were in a relationship with your ex, there's this element of safety, of comfort, of knowing that you had this person you can run to call when things were good and when things were bad. They were your safe space. So now that this person is no longer in your life and you're looking to recreate that form of safety within yourself and for yourself within your own environment, there's an element of loss of control that's there that makes you just want to run back to your ex, that makes you replay those stories over and over to just create this notion of like, man, what could I have done wrong? Like, was this thing that I said, was this thing that I did that really led us to end this breakup? So those are different reasons why why you may be blaming yourself for the relationship ending. I know for myself, when I was going through my breakup, I kept replaying the end of the relationship, things that I've said and things that I did. But sometimes, we avoid the truth that the relationship may have ended even months prior, but we were both holding on to false hope, believing that the relationship will work. And maybe that's the same for you because the day someone says that the relationship is over isn't necessarily the first time they thought about ending the relationship. It's something that they may have been thinking on, contemplating on for a long time and had already made that decision within themselves to do. But it may have just been the first time they had told you. So they had time to process it. They had time to sit with it, with the decision, and then tell you. So I think us coming to this notion that relationship ends. They don't always go on forever, but just because it ends doesn't mean that we're at fault or the other person is at fault. We're both kind of like mutually in this thing together and we're mutually out of it together. Let's dive into the three ways you can stop blaming yourself. The first way is to acknowledge that the end of the relationship is not solely your fault. Relationships are a two-way street. It takes two to mingle and two for the relationship to fall apart. So it's unfair to you to take the weight of the end of the relationship and put it solely on you. Yes, we're going to take accountability and also take responsibility for our role in the relationship, for the things that we did that contributed to the end of the relationship, because that's the only way we're going to grow. That's the only way we're going to take those lessons and move forward and do better next time. But I think we're doing ourselves a disservice if we think that all of our actions and all of our contributions was the reason why the relationship ended, when your ex also contributed to the relationship ending, meaning that his or her actions, his or her role also play a role into the relationship ending. And sometimes when you're thinking about it really not being your fault, and when you think back onto your own relationship, you may realize that you and your ex probably loved each other a lot, but you both probably just didn't have the tools and the resources to navigate and create a healthier relationship where you both could thrive and move forward in life. And due to this, maybe there was a lot of conflict, there were a lot of communication issues, there were a lot of misunderstandings that led to a lot of different fights, and y'all just didn't know how to bounce back from those fights. And probably the last argument that you both had became the argument that literally set the relationship on fire. And that was just a sign too at the base of it that maybe you both just need to grow as individuals before even trying this relationship out again, or coming to the realization that you both are really good people, but together you are like thunder and lightning and should just not merge together, because y'all will create a storm. So I think just remembering that it's not your fault. You contributed to it. Your ex contributed to it, because it takes two to make the relationship work. And it also takes two for the relationship not to work. The second way to help you to stop blaming yourself is to acknowledge your efforts. So this is going to be a strange example, but because I watch it a lot, so it's on my head. But I was watching Pop the Balloon the other day, and the contestant asked the people on the stand, like, how would you define love? And one of the guys said that love is defined by efforts. And that resonated with me, because I truly believe that love is a choice. Love is an action verb and is a commitment, is sacrifice, is all of that. So this ability to sit back and acknowledge your efforts is so important, because one of the key things you can do is ask yourself, did I give this relationship my best? And if you give this relationship your best, and if you pour everything you had into this relationship, then honestly, you can rest and know that you have done everything that you could possibly do with the tools and the resources that you had at that time. And if your ex no longer wants to continue this relationship with you, or if you both broke up, you can trust that God has something else for you. I think it is important for you to reflect on how you show up to that relationship, how you served your partner, how you met your partner's needs, how you literally just like worked on becoming a better person for yourself and for that relationship, how you apologize, how you went to therapy, how you did everything that you could do, that you knew how to do with the knowledge and information that you had at that time to make this relationship work. And sis, if you did all of that, honestly, be proud of yourself. You fought for something and you showed up for something. And a lot of people do not do that, because we know we live in a culture today where we're all just in situationships, hooking up and moving on from one relationship to the next. So if you showed up fully in your relationship and gave it everything that you had and it did not work, then that's how it was supposed to play out. It was not meant for you. It was not, you and him were not meant to last forever. But if you did not give the relationship your all and you took your ex for um and you took your ex for granted, and now you want your ex back, and he's not budging or she's not budging, that's a great opportunity for you to also reflect, to say, you know what, it is not okay for me to have show up to things and expect things to work out. I would take accountability for that. I would take this as a learning experience and move forward, doing better, moving into all areas of my life, giving it my best and giving it my all. Because I feel like that's all we can really do: give life, give our relationships our all. And really trust this notion that it doesn't matter how long it takes if someone is truly meant for you. I truly believe that God will move the stars and the moon for y'all to find your way together. So we see it all the time in our life. People be like, oh my gosh, I stopped talking to this person for years and then we reconnected. And it was just like nothing changed and we found our way back together. But if it's not for you, you can keep trying and writing letters and writing long paragraphs and sitting and contemplating on what you could have done and what you should have done. You can go and buzz their doorbell at their house. You could do whatever you want to do. The relationship is not going to work. Which leads me into the last point, that all relationships are not meant to last forever. Some relationship comes into our life for a season, for a reason, and to just teach us more about ourselves. So I think it's important for us to reflect on the purpose of the various relationships in our lives. So when you find yourself blaming yourself about the reason why you and your ex aren't together, think about the role your ex played in your life. Your ex may have taught you more about what it means to love yourself, what it meant to also show up for others, what it meant to like be gentle, what it means to be kind. So think about all the different lessons that your ex taught you, both good and bad, that you experienced, because I truly believe that people meet us where we're at in different seasons of our lives to reveal to us different parts of ourselves. And when their time is done in our story, then we have to be free with open hands to release them back to God so that they can continue on their journey. Because I truly believe that people are gifts, and they're gifts from God to be able to step into our life in a certain period of time to contribute to our life, to give us vast, amazing experiences, and even some experiences that we may not want to experience, but experiences that was so necessary for our growth, for our healing, and for our elevation in life. So take a step back, reflect on what role did your ex play in your life? Why were they placed in your life? What did they teach you in your life? And then trust that what is for you is truly for you. And what is not for you is not yours. And get to a place where you desire and want to be with people that choose you as much as you choose them. Okay, I know I said 3 things to stop blaming yourself, but I have a bonus one. And the last one here would be to forgive yourself. I think one of the things that hold us back is that we harbor on to unforgiveness for ourselves and for our ex, and just keep records of all the wrongs that we did and did, and we replay the story in our heads over and over and over again. So we don't even live in the present moment anymore, but we literally create these jail cells in our minds, holding ourselves captive and holding our ex captive, and not really moving forward. So I think it's so important that you forgive yourself, because forgiveness is the ability to let go, to give yourself a fresh start, and to give the other person a fresh start, and to really free your mind and your heart of having to carry the weight of what didn't work out, or what someone did to you, or the pain of what someone did to you, or what you did to yourself. And forgiveness is a practice. I think sometimes we make it so light, like, oh, just forgive and do this. It's a daily practice. I think for me, something that helped me was praying about it each and every day for myself, and praying to forgive my ex each and every day for everything that happened. Because I think it's so important for us to search our hearts. We'll come to realize that we carry resentment, and we carry like ill feelings for others in our hearts when we leave our hearts unchecked. So I think it's being honest about where you're at and about how you feel, and carrying that first to God and asking God to help you to forgive. Because sometimes trying to do it by your own willpower, it's just like, girl, I cannot forgive that. My ego is screaming, and my pride, I said pride, and my pride wants revenge. But if you are a believer and you love God, you understand the importance of just letting things go and forgiving, because we have done so many things to God that God has forgiven us for. So I think it's also important for us to let go and forgive others who hurt us. I think it's also modeling what it means to move with a pure heart, and to move with love. Some practical ways you can forgive is that whenever you find yourself thinking ill thoughts about yourself or about your ex, is to pause and just in that moment even say to yourself, I forgive myself. I forgive my ex. And you can sit and journal about everything and practice forgiving in that way. I really think it's a day-to-day practice, and it's a moment by moment practice, because there will be some days you're just like, oh, I'm over everything. I'm good. I'm not even blaming myself anymore. And then there will be a thought or something that comes up, and you're just like, nah, I'm still upset. And that's where you have to take that burden, carry it to Jesus' feet, and ask Him to help you forgive 10 times, 20 times, over and over. So, these are some of the key ways that you can stop blaming yourself about the end of the relationship. Share in the comments some practical ways that in your past or currently on how you have stopped blaming yourself for the end of the relationship, and some key lessons that could help others as well as we are journeying through healing and moving forward. If this video helped you, you may want to check out this other video about how to heal your heartbreak and really process your emotions to move forward with clarity. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. And I am on a mission to help over 1 million women heal from their past relationships, step into their authentic self, and to create the life and love that they truly deserve. And sis, you can help me to do that by sharing this episode, by commenting and subscribing to the Heal Grow Create family. With that, leave this episode knowing that you are deeply loved and deserving of a healthy and loving relationship and life. Thank you so much, y'all. Take care. Bye.